Welcome to the Artist Academy podcast. I'm your host, Andrea Earhart, and I am so excited that you're here to catch the weekly replay of my laid-back yet very inspiring conversations with other full-time professional artists. The purpose of this series is to show aspiring artists that it is completely possible to have a great career in the arts. And if you ever want to tune in and have your questions answered in real time by myself or featured guests, then just check out the schedule over at facebook.com/groups/Artist Academy every Tuesday to catch us on live. I'll see you there. This episode is sponsored by the Artist Academy Advanced Membership, a program for artists who want to up-level their art game by taking it from a hobby or a side hustle to a full-time six-figure art business. With weekly trainings that include step-by-step proven art business techniques, plus painting tutorials from yours truly and other guest artists who are masters in their field, you will be well equipped to learn and grow into the highly skilled and highly profitable artist you know you're meant to be. I've figured out what it takes to build my own six-figure art business, and now my heart is set on teaching aspiring artists like you to do the same. It's not hard, but it does require your time and dedication. So if you're up for the challenge, go to advancedmember.com. That's advancedmember.com to learn more. Welcome to episode number 3 of the Student Spotlight series, where every Monday I interview one of my amazing Artist Academy Advanced students to get to know them better, give them direct advice on their art business, and so I can give you feedback on how to be a better teacher. This week I'm interviewing Austin Fabinski. Austin is a former elementary art teacher turned full-time artist, still in the very beginning of his art career. It's so exciting when my students are in the very, very beginning because everything is new and exciting to them still. I'll get messages and DMs from my students saying things like, I made my first $100, or I made my first sale, or I got my first print order in. And we celebrate together because every single milestone is such an accomplishment, especially in the beginning. There's a lot to do, like set up a website, file for an LLC, get your social media game strong, and all the things that come with being a full-time artist that nobody really talks about. Austin is an amazing example of someone who has come into the group and hit the ground running. He is painting literally every day. And not just that, he's trying his hand at designing t-shirts. He started an art featuring account. He does art lessons, so he teaches too, and is trying everything in order to figure out this whole crazy self-made art career thing. And I feel really lucky to have attracted someone like Austin into our advanced group because just his presence motivates others and encourages everyone to just keep going. The momentum that he brings to the group is second to none. But let me know what you think about this week's episode with Austin Fabinski. So if you could kind of just start by just kind of letting me know and everybody else know your paint journey so far. Like, I know that you were a school teacher and all of that, but if you could just kind of tell us a little bit about how you got to where you are now.
Okay, yeah. So I am Austin Fabinski. I'm an artist in Michigan. So the past 3 years, I was an elementary art teacher. So this school year, I actually quit and wanted to really start going into my art, dive in and go work on full time. Because I knew I was struggling doing art when I was teaching full time because I had over 600 students a week. I was mentally exhausted. Art is therapeutic for me, but it's also I don't want to do anything after teaching. And then I also had to work 2 other jobs during teaching. So it's I really had no time to do art myself. So it's my biggest goal was to become a full-time artist. That was always my main goal. I chose teaching because I love teaching, but also that was just to get an income because I knew like it's very hard to start off as an artist. It takes a long time to really get people to a following, people see your art and just like all that. And so it's like, but I needed a push. So like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna quit and just go for it. So, so I took a huge leap of faith and I just did it. And I don't regret it at all. But then quarantine happened, coronavirus. It's like, oh, my first year really going for this. And it's like, oh, got hit hard. Because
Yeah.
so I would have been like doing art shows and markets and like art fairs right now, and you can't right now, so that's hard. So,
Yeah, for sure. And so you quit, I'd say, what is it? What is it, May? So you are about 5 months in?
so I quit August last year.
August. Okay.
Yeah, so it'd be this like the school year. So school year is September to June.
Yeah.
So I'd be like my whole school year. Be this would be the one I haven't done. But
Yeah.
I did like once I did quit, I did go back and I sub for my old schools, like and for my art teacher friends because they're like, oh yes, we have an actual art teacher for a sub that we don't need to do the side plans. We can just say, here, do our project for us.
Yeah.
So it's like I also get to go see my old students and they love that. I love that because I love teaching art and I still do it now. I do it online and I have private art lessons. So I still doing what I love to do, but in a different aspect than the public education.
I love that. I love that so much too. Because like I think as soon as you sent in your application for the Artist Academy several months ago, it stuck out to me because I wrote you back immediately and I was like, oh my gosh, I was about to be an art teacher too. Like that was the path that I was going to take. And so I have such like a little place in my heart for art teachers because you like teaching but it's just like it's you don't want to teach all the time, and that's kind
Yeah.
of where I'm at too. I love teaching, but it's like my main art career is like you need that. And so I'm so
hmm
excited for you, especially because you've really dove into this. You have tried everything. You work every single
I
day. And I'm like,
yeah, maybe
yeah,
not hard.
you're going for it.
I still get those people like you quit a career, like you just started as a teacher and you already quit. But it's also known that like most teachers don't last 5 years nowadays because it's hard. You have the passion, but you can't survive. Like I know so many teachers that work 3 jobs because like if you don't have a significant other, you're at poverty level the first 10 years of teaching, and that's like how do you live? How do you survive that and be
Yeah.
smiling every day for these kids that you're supposed to inspire and teach every day when deep inside you're struggling. So it's like how do I
Yeah.
keep being a positive role model but also do the thing I love and be happy with it? Like once I did that leap, like I've been so much happier. Like I'm doing my art every day and we know art is therapeutic. So it's like when you're doing something you love every day, you're just overall happy with your life and everything around yourself. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And like I always try to remind people like the first year, like I know that this is like way harder than you ever thought, especially with
Oh yeah.
everything going on, things are canceled. But like even so, like the drama of it, like I remember my first year at painting for Bass Pro. I like it was so hard. Like it was the hardest year I've ever had. And then every year after that it's kind of gotten easier. And so like you're going into it, but like it's super hard right now, but you're going to be so appreciative of the next year and the year after be like, "Oh, this is way easier." Plus, you're going to like have so much work to bring to all these shows because
Oh
you
yeah.
finish a painting every single day or more. Like,
I like to prove people wrong too. So like when people said like you should never quit yet, you should have kept working a little more and got into your art more and then but I'm like, no, I need that drive, I need that be a push, and then I need to prove people wrong and prove myself wrong. Like I can do this, so I'm gonna make it happen. So I've been doing lots of art during quarantine. I started TikTok thanks to you, and I'm almost at 14K following. And then
oh my gosh, that's
my
amazing.
Yeah, so it's fun. I'm doing little things for that and then doing my personal art. So like I'm doing a large series during quarantine, which I've always wanted to go big, but it's like I just never did. Like smaller paintings are quicker and like I can get more stuff, but then it's like, okay, price is a little lower for the smaller paintings. So I want those three tiers. Like I want these big paintings to be at the top and my smaller paintings. And then I also do watercolor paintings, and that's even smaller too. So it's like I do two different styles. Like I do acrylic and then I do watercolor, which when I did January 30-day painting, I'm like, I'm getting these dog portraits, I'm doing them in watercolor. I need to improve on that too. So it's like, I'm going to do watercolor paintings every day during that 30-day challenge so I can just improve my skills. And everyone was seeing how much I improved by the end of that month. I was like, I haven't impressed myself. I'm like, wow, like my two styles is different, but like my watercolor is like, wow. I impressed myself. Best way to describe it.
That's the best too. Like when you exceed your own expectations, and you're like,
Hmm.
I remember in the first couple years too. I remember those like those paintings where you do them, and afterwards you're like, I did that.
Yeah.
All right, and then it just kind of becomes the standard. You're like, well, I got to do better than that one next time, and it just goes up and up and up.
Hmm.
Right now, I'm getting asked to do several windows here in town of like businesses who like want to support like the local high schools or like the local colleges who can't go through
Okay.
graduation, and so they'll write like congrats seniors or whatever on their thing, or
Hmm.
if it's a business that's about to open up, they want to do like a window painting on their business that's like a special that they're having to bring people in, or like something, you know?
Yeah.
So I was gonna actually suggest to everyone to maybe just kind of go knock on some business doors and, you know, offer your services for inexpensive, and
Yeah.
just because they are going through a lot, and just be like, hey, you know, I'm doing, you know, I'll cut it down to 50% of what I usually do or something like that to help you out. Do
Hmm.
you want this? This is what we're doing. So like maybe I was like, if I tell anybody this, it's going to be Austin who goes out and tries it because
Yeah.
you're like, I'll do that. I'll do this. I'll do
I'll tr-
whatever.
I'll try anything.
Yeah. So maybe if you wanted to try that and
Okay.
let us know how it goes, because I bet if anybody could do it, you could do it.
Yeah, that was always on my list too. Like every time, like when winter, like Christmas comes, holidays come, and you see all the like winter themes around the restaurants and stuff. Like Leo's, like they always have a winter scene on their Coney Island. If you, I don't know if
Oh,
you guys have Leo Coney Island. It's a Michigan thing, so it's
yeah.
a little small like little restaurant that everyone loves to go to. So they always have winter themes on their windows and stuff. So it's like again, my mother's like, Austin, you should be doing that. I'm like, I know I have a lot of things I need to do. It's just like I'm also in the process like in a normal day without being quarantined. I am also working two other jobs, so it's like just to make sure I hit my bills and I'm
Yeah.
living. So it's like I'm still not that full-time artist, but like I'm working towards it. So it's like I have all these things on my list, but I can only do so much because things life's happening.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
yeah, but yeah, I'll check that out.
You also started, you've done everything. You started a like an art featuring account kind of a thing.
So that was inspired by you too, because we were like, we were doing that share for shares, and then try to get like, and also tag other art feature pages so we get free features. I'm like, why don't one of us start our own and help each other out, and then we can always use that for sure. Like we can always, all the students can go to that and at least get a feature there, and that's just another post for your artwork that people may be able to see. So like I've always agreed, like we can help support each other and help each other grow. Like yeah, we're in a business where we should be like a little like, hey, I might get that job or you might get that job, but it's also like this is a huge world where there's so many clients out there that why not? Let's just help each other out. I wish I started in college 7 years ago. Like I wish I was like in my head I was going for teaching. Like I didn't have the business aspect of being an artist back then. And also like in college, like I didn't have a business class for how to be an artist. So it's like, I'm like, okay, like, shouldn't this be a class? Like, actually how to be an artist, how to be a business, because you are a business.
You know, that's funny because like I think the same thing all the time. And I even thought about going up to Missouri State up here where I went to college and being like, hey guys, like, is there like a petition that I can start or something, or like a suggestion box that I can put my thing
Hmm.
in to like have every artist like take a business class, and more specifically like an art business class,
Yeah.
just to show them like this is the LLC and everything, which is partly why I started the Artist Academy, to be like,
Hmm.
okay, this is missing from college. I went through it and I came out not knowing how to do anything, so I had to learn it and or learn from someone else. And
Hmm.
so yeah, yeah, I totally agree.
And I agree as well. Like as a teacher, I'm like, we're always learning, and at every stage of life, you need someone to learn from, because there's something always new, and there's something you want to do, and like, okay, how do you learn it? Like, for me, I need to see it, and I need to be able to watch someone do it, also talk to them. I'm a person that doesn't can't just like learn something like just randomly like that. I learn by watching and seeing someone do it hands on, and then I do it hands on. So like when you on the Artist Academy, you have your templates of for a contract. Okay, this is what a real one should look like, Morrissey.
Yeah.
And okay, I can do this. Yeah, this is what I see. This is what I should put. Okay, where if you just Google contract, like anything pops up. Like, but knowing that I got it from you, that's used it before, it works. I've
Yeah.
learned something. So like when I just started out, like when I found you, I think I found you on Facebook.
Oh, really?
I think it was Facebook or Instagram. And then when I think it popped up on Facebook. And then when I went to your podcast, then I started going hard on your podcast. Every day I worked out. I used to go to the gym every day before
Yeah.
quarantine. I missed the gym so bad.
So do we.
Like I wake up in the morning and I go to the gym. It starts my day off right, and I would listen to your podcast when working out, because I always listen to music or a podcast or an audiobook when I worked out. And then every day I would just listen to your podcast until I caught up.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I was learning.
amazing. I love to hear that.
Yeah. So like I was learning, I was multitasking. I was working out, all like mind physically, and then I was learning through the podcast. Like, okay, this is how this artist did this, and I love how that you interview artists around the whole world,
Yeah.
and it's like everyone's in this like starting the same boat, but then also has their own journey, and it's just
Exactly.
amazing to listen to. And like when I'm live on TikTok and like I get these questions, like I'm like I reference you. I'm like, go to Spotify and look up Andrea's Artist Academy. Like I learned from her, and everyone can learn from something from her. Because also you're learning from other artists that are talking. Because you do both. Like you personal podcasts, and then you do art interviews. So it's like there's so much to learn.
So, is there any kind of like, do you have any suggestions for me on how to teach you better, since you are a teacher, and or like what do you want to see more of inside the Artist Academy? Like what's working for you, and like for instance, we just did like a heavy Instagram focus week, and I was
Hmm.
like, like maybe they'll want to do this every week. So I posted a poll in the group and I was like, hey, who does everybody want to do like an Instagram focus every month, like on the first week of every month? And literally everyone said yes. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, it's decided then. So is there anything like that you want to see more of or see something new?
Yeah, I like the idea for doing Instagram stuff, because that's going to help each other grow each month. That
Yeah.
small day is going to help, because everyone's going to be sharing everyone's stuff. Personally, like I would love to like do like a challenge every week, just like an art challenge, like
Ooh,
just a topic, like everyone draw like a robin, and I want to see everyone's style. It just has to be like for anyone. It could be big or small, like whatever one. Just I want to get people thinking. Just even if they have art block, like if they're not that busy with commissions, like they might have art block. How about everyone, let's draw a robin this week or paint a robin, and let's post it. And like, I want to see everyone's style and see what they come up with. I think that would be awesome. Or do a different style. Like everyone, let's just do an abstract painting this week. Let's change it up, and everyone do a mini or something abstract, And hey, it's another painting. It might look awesome. Could look awful. Who cares? It's just, it's making you think differently, and then it's also going to inspire you.
I like that. Okay, so I'll challenge you guys more. Is there any other comments or anything about Artist Academy or your art business that you want to talk about?
I don't know. Like, I've been like trying everything. Like, I've been really hitting my website hard. Like last year when I was teaching, I designed my own art like theory shirts. Like,
Yeah.
so like I always loved wearing art shirts when I could, and like I'm like, there's no art shirts for my theories that I'm teaching. So like I made my own color theory shirts and I wore them, and my students be like, hey, you're teaching us that. I'm like, yeah, I am. Isn't it cool? I'm also wearing it too.
Yeah.
So it just reinforced my teaching and stuff for that. So like I've been doing more stuff. Like I've been doing shirt designs. Like I'm hitting everything I can.
Another thing, yeah. We were like, we had to do email
Yeah.
lists and window paintings and literally everything. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
But there's time. Like I also like for you when you were like you asked us for your comments for your, because you're doing lessons now, showing your lessons, you're getting that to go in. And then I commented and gave you a suggestion, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's like that.
Yeah,
And which
I'm definitely open for feedback on literally everything because like
Yeah.
I think something is perfect, and like especially for the past couple of years, like anytime I ask someone, I'm like, hey, what do you think of this? Like, should it be like this or this or that? And they have an opinion on it. Every single time, it ends up getting just a little bit better. And so now, like, I won't put anything out unless I ask like a couple people about it. I'm like, what do you think of this? What do you? And like sometimes I'm like, nah, that's not good. But most of the times it's like, I never thought of that.
But that's what you need. That's like the one thing I liked being in college and in the studio with a bunch of artists, because we had to be in the classroom. Is like, hey, I'm like, hey, what do you think about this? And they're like, they tell me an opinion, but even if I didn't like their opinion, it made me think about something in a different way.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about the Artist Academy is like we are a community where I feel like when I post something, I can even ask like, hey, give me your honest opinion. Just destroy it if you need to. I need it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I
safe
can do
space.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love that. As an artist and anyone that's listening that are trying to become an artist, like Andrea always says, we need to be in that community, and it helps us improve ourselves.
It does. It really does. Yeah.
So I'm very thankful for you and your the Artist Academy, because
Oh, good.
I've learned so much.
Oh, good. That makes me so happy too. And you I can tell like the secret sauce to someone becoming a full-time artist is literally just how bad you want it. And you want it so bad. So I have no doubt in my mind, like literally no doubt in my mind, just
Thank
because
you.
like, and you're still in the very beginning, and it might take longer than you hope, but you're going to get there, especially if you just keep going at it exactly as you're going at it. I think you're a great example for everybody else in the Artist Academy as well, because I think the other day you posted, you did like 3 paintings for a day,
Yeah.
and someone was like, you did this in a day? And
Yeah.
people see that inside the Artist Academy too, or even outside of it, and they're like, okay, this guy like is doing this, and this, and I did a couple hours worth today. It's like I need to step up my game, and so you guys kind of feed off of each other and motivate each other without me having to like give like a speech about it or like a template or something. You guys just motivate each other, and that's just, I love seeing that. So I'm so excited that you're in the group and then you're doing all the things.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get off here because I do have another line. But
Yeah,
again, it was so nice to talk to you, and
yeah.
I get something every single time I have these, and with you, I've gotten several different ideas.
Awesome.
So okay, well, I will talk to you later, and will be I'll be doing another live inside the Artist Academy again to go over email lists this week.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank
your
you so
request.
much.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later.
Bye, Andrea. Have a good day.
This episode is sponsored by the Artist Academy Advanced Membership, a program for artists who want to up-level their art game by taking it from a hobby or a side hustle to a full-time 6-figure art business. with weekly trainings that include step-by-step proven art business techniques, plus painting tutorials from yours truly and other guest artists who are masters in their field. You will be well equipped to learn and grow into the highly skilled and highly profitable artist you know you're meant to be. I've figured out what it takes to build my own six-figure art business, and now my heart is set on teaching aspiring artists like you to do the same. It's not hard, but it does require your time and dedication. So if you're up for the challenge, go to advancedmember.com. That's advancedmember.com to learn more. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. If you review our podcast and send a screenshot of that review to me on Instagram, I am at Art by Andrea Earhart. I will then promote your art on my story and tag you as a little thank you for helping me grow this podcast and our Artist Academy community. I have a reach of over 50,000 on Instagram, so this is a little help me to help you incentive. Also, if you ever want your questions answered in real time by myself or featured guests, then just hop on over to facebook.com/groups/Artist Academy to check out the schedule every Tuesday to catch us on live. I'll see you next week.